All right, welcome to round number 4. We have lost the die roll. Our hand probably has to be a keep blind. See what we're up against here. But I'm not sure how they want to start this game off. Figuring it all out. All right. Delta Swamp Inquisition. So perhaps Grixis control base of some sort. It's my guess at this point in time. Could be something entirely different, obviously. There's a lot of decks that could be. Not like getting a basic land makes me wary of guessing Shadow, right? If they had grabbed Watery Grave there, Shadow would probably still be our first guess, and then maybe develop into Grixis. But from here, Grixis is my guess, but can easily change. All right, opponent takes a Logic Knot, and we have found a Steam Vents. Search for Escanta, yeah. Definitely Grixis. And might be kind of tough for us from here. At least Blood Moon will serve a purpose. Assuming that gets flipped. Definitely bottom that. Draw one anyway. Found another Logic Knot at least. But we are land heavy. Fortunately, we do have Lighthouse to hopefully help us solve that issue. The problem is Lighthouse grinding out this game is a little bit weaker than Search for Escanta grinding out this game. But it keeps the card with Search, casts another Inquisition. I mean, Logic Knot's the best card in my hand, but giving my opponent this information is not very valuable, and I don't really want to exile a couple cards from my yard, so be it. Tar Pit, pretty annoying here. I think I'm just going to grab Steam Vents. I would cast Blood Moon if I drew it, but okay. Well, feels kind of bad, but the only issue with this is my opponent will never flip this, but the Tar Pit incentivizes me to slam this on the table. Because if I draw Jace, I'll want it to be good. Now, the fact that I did not fetch a basic island off of that fetch land punishes me if I draw exactly Blood Moon into Cryptic. I've completed step 1 of that process, so we'll see. Search for Escanta can definitely help them find some swamps to shore this up. Man, we are struggling. It's all right. I believe we can find some spells before our opponent finds ways to cast spells. Bins a Logic Knot. Yeah, that one's not great here. They did find an island. Okay, take it back. Can't do it. can't find spells before our opponent finds ways to cast spells because they already found it. Ooh, wish we had found that just a little bit sooner. But the good news is they are not likely to have a way to deal. With counter magic, I should say. Particularly because they are likely just on Logic Knots and don't have double blue. So I think I need a Fate Seal here. Lightning Bolt just killing my Jace would be too bad for me in this spot. Because they have Search for Kanta, I'm going to Fate Seal myself. Put Cryptic on the bottom, sadly. There's been some punishment this game. If they have Bolt, Snap Bolt, yuck. And I'll be sad. Alright, step one. At least we didn't lose it to just Bolt, but... yeah, I mean... sad. It's happening. The sadness is complete. I will also just Bolt their Snap, I think. Particularly because they know about my Bolt, so... Fate Seal. Jace would Fate Seal if they had Jace and found Island. Drew a Cryptic anyway. Man, the punishment is flowing indeed. Feels bad. Feels real bad. Basic Mountain, not interesting to my opponent. I'll believe it. Serum Visions, let's see how those scries go. Bottom. Alright. I'm down. Thing in the ice, sure. I'll hold this land as well. Blood Moon's never going away, but we could find a Jace and sort of be juggling this Sulfur Falls. It's possible we want to hold other things, plus there's not a lot of incentive to get it in play. Plus my opponent is a Kolaghan's Command deck, so a lot of reasons to hold it. Bolt. Not great. But not the worst. Not another non-basic island, right? Could have been a land that wasn't an island. Liliana Bend. Man, this Blood Moon is doing work. Alright, deal. Maybe we'll just mill our opponent to death off their own search. Seems unlikely. Alright, they actually kept a card this time, but didn't play anything. We drew another island. Man, our opponent's hand is spell dense. Pretty terrified when they actually find a way to start casting these things. But it bins a lightning bolt, draws. I think there's not a lot of incentive for me to play that Tarn out. Do a little bit more staring at each other. Magic the way it's meant to be played. Thoughtseize, yeah. That's a little bit sad for us. But we'll definitely take the opportunity to remove a counter from our thing in the ice and draw a card. That's not bad. At least it's an island. At least it's an island. Can be happy with that. Our 21 land deck is seeming to find a lot of lands, though, of late. We're on, what? There's how many are there left? 5, 6. We have, what did I say, 21 lands, so 8 left. Opponent just passes after bidding yet another bolt. They're bolt flooded. Alright, so we could go a bit crazy to try and flip this thing right now, but I mean, my opponent has a push by now or terminate. It's not like this this thing is really going to be hitting them, so I'm not really that incentivized to go wild with my spells here. Bins a Water Grave. Bonfire of the Damned. Well, I'll be. I did not expect a Bonfire of the Damned, I'll be perfectly honest. Super happy to remand this. Now I actually could go a bit crazy and take the opportunity to hit my opponent with this thing in the ice. Oh, looks like I don't even have to go crazy. It just gets to happen naturally. That's perfect. That's actually perfect. Snapcaster. Get to bolt my opponent. Yeah. Bolt my opponent. This flips. I get snap back. And then I have 6 damage plus the thing in the ice here. So pretty sweet. Thanks, Bonfire. And Blood Moon. More so than Bonfire. Definitely like going up in threat density here. I don't know if it's a trap to go up to 3rd Blood Moon in this matchup. It does feel like on average it's pretty hard for them to deal with, but on the draw they're likely to be able to fetch around it. There's even the potential that I don't want any here, though I doubt that. It's still pretty hard for my opponent to entirely play around. I just think the 3rd one is unlikely to be great. I suspect Thing in the Ice is weak here, but it has cheap and efficient answers. Would probably rather just focus on Jace. That does not leave me with a lot of 2s. Actually, I forgot about all these. Never mind. I can pitch Shells to itself or the Logic Knots. So I still have plenty of ways to pitch there. I can see shaving a Bolt as well. I think shaving 1 makes sense. I have to imagine that Keranos is absolutely insane here. Then it's just sort of PNK. This card just is not easy for my opponent to deal with, other than outside of like K commands, and that's still not even completely a 1-for-1. It does just seem difficult to find a great window to cast them in a lot of cases. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe cutting all my Thing in the Ice is a mistake. Maybe just 1 moon. I could actually cut a Cryptic. They get kind of clunky on the draw post board. I'd almost rather just have the additional threat. That might be a little crazy. Let's try that. I could be wrong about the 2 moons and want actually none on the draw and then a couple on the play. We can definitely see that, but I'm not like itching to absolutely have like Thing in the Ices or Bolt 3 and 4. If I did cut the moons, I'd probably put the Cryptic back and 3rd Bolt. If I cut the moons and then put the moons back on the play, I think I definitely want them on the play. But anyway, we have them now. Man, tough to mull this, I think. You know, what I didn't consider is that while I really do like Shoals in the control mirrors, my opponent is a discard-based mirror. They did show us both Inquisition and Thoughtseize, right? So that's probably a mistake. I'm probably supposed to give up on the Shoal excitement or at least shave them. I didn't more seriously consider that, and I think that's a mistake. Now, in a like Jeskai control mirror, blue-white or blue-red control mirror, I really like the Shoals, but they may turn out to be a lot less exciting here. I think this is bottom. I'm more realistically looking for a threat, and it's I'm likely to incidentally find a 3rd land here with both opt and, or excuse me, a 4th land with both opt and remand being cantrips. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel great. If I had a moon, maybe I wouldn't, but I think I do bottom that. Another Shoal. All right. Opponent just passes back to me. That's probably pretty good. With them missing their land drop and me getting to my 4th land, we might find ourselves in a good position here. I think I still need to cast this. Hopefully we hit a land. No, another shoal, but 2 lands on top. In this spot, I'm actually happy to have both of these. I want to. I know I was saying I wanted to look for a threat here, but with how many control tools I have, and with my opponent missing my land drops, I sort of want to widen the gap here, and they might even get to the point where they're forced to start discarding to hand size or make plays that they're unhappy with, like just Lava Spike me, for example. They did hit a 4th land here, so it's not going to be quite that bad. Going to hard cast Shoal here with Dispel backup. I guess if they have 3rd Search for Escanta, this is kind of bad, but they don't. They just want to protect it with a Squall. Obviously, now we're not going to get to the point where my opponent's discarding hand size, but they weren't going to anyway, of course, with being able to just cast that search, but still contented with that play overall. I think I just want to leave fetch land in play. Click is a great draw, but I don't need to rush it. I can just end step it. I do only have the 1 negate to fight over it, though. It's a weird spot. I think I want to click in response, but I am taking a little bit of a gamble. They haven't played a land yet, right? Whoa. That is super punishing. I guess they're going to be forced to Liliana minus, so I probably still take a Liliana. Let me snip this as well. I mean, I guess I could just terminate. So I think I negate this because negate's the best card in my hand. I'm not really going to be able to reliably counter anything. So I think I take Liliana. Negate Brutality. I mean, they could just like Logic Nod, but that would be fine. Yeah, they just say okay. Play a land. Fortunately, it wasn't a fetch land. I wonder why they... Oh, they're just going to terminate and leave up not? I guess that's pretty gross. Snap is a good draw. It's very weird. I wish I already had a bolt in my yard. Because I kind of want, when my opponent plays Liliana, I kind of want to play Snapcaster to get them to Logic Knot the Snapcaster. I guess I have negate to target. And then Cryptic basically is what I'm getting at. Yeah, I guess I just lead on Snapcaster anyway, and they'll probably still Logic on it because I have the negate. So they have push, Lily, Logic Knot, mystery card. So assuming their mystery card isn't something great, I think we'll come out on top here. Unless my opponent makes the very heads up play of allowing my Snapcaster to resolve, but even then I still have the Bolt to finish off the Lily, so I guess, no, they have the Fatal Push. So yeah, my opponent could make the very, very heads-up play of allowing Snapcaster to resolve, then Logic Knotting my negate. If only I had one more mana, I could like sort of get them by targeting Dispel with the Snapcaster. That would be so gross. I guess then they would just have to Logic Knot the Snapcaster and we'd get to... Yeah, anyway. There's no way the Disrupting Shawl comes in handy here either. I mean, I could let this resolve, but yeah. No, it just doesn't really work out for me. Oh, man. They're taking the heads-up play. So sad. I still have to make them not, right? Man, if this was blue, bitch shoulder the Fatal Push. I guess then the Bolt wouldn't matter because we pitching that anyway. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. Anyway, yeah. We're just gonna get got. Could draw another Bolt, though, or another Snap. Or Jace. I mean, there's a lot of cards we can draw that make us not care so much about the Liliana, but we'll see. All right. Liliana is going to resolve. So they have Fatal Push Mystery card. It's possible they also minus. No, they're just going to Fatal Push and plus. I don't know why I'm doing that now. Yeah, I guess there's just not a lot of incentive to Bolt now. If I draw land, and then have to cryptic draw and hit Snapcaster. It's kind of weird because I'm hoping to some extent that we get to sort of bait them. I guess, again, it's just Jace. Jace being a possibility. Yeah. I feel like playing the land baits them a little bit more into the Lily tick up with no cards in hand situation, but outside of that, if they're not, you know, I just generally don't want to assume my opponent's going to fall for that, right? Whoa. All right. Well, we're counter drawing. So much for the Lily thing. This is more of an issue. We want to deal with this one. Ooh. This is why we held the Silver Falls, right? Instead of trying to be cute. For a second there, I was worried I auto-yielded on my turn. All right. We get a Jace. Now we don't care so much about the Liliana. Opponent's fetching in response for value. Fortunately for us, they have not drawn a Tar Pit. Yeah, I mean those are good. Those are good. Kind of awkward because I just want to Snap Bolt this Liliana. So then I'm like fetching all my cards away. I have to crack both my fetches to do that. I could just keep like Opt Tarn. No, I guess I'd rather keep like Click Tarn. Let them have another turn with their Liliana. Because I like these cards enough. If they draw counter magic, it's like a little awkward, but the Liliana's just not that big of a deal. Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I'm like being a little too cute here, and I should just assume that I'm going to draw a bunch of really great ones from this Jace anyway. But it seems like I'm going to have a pretty easy time killing this Liliana as is. Okay, opponent draws another Liliana anyway, so I guess I guess I'm glad we didn't like use all our resources just to do that. Again, probably would have been fine, but pitch this. So we draw a Snapcaster. I don't really want this. No, I'm still supposed to brainstorm here. See two fresh cards at least. I'll get rid of these cantrips. Play this out. I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to click their draw step since I have Snap Cryptic. Losing my voice a little bit today. I streamed quite a few hours. Well, not quite a few. I streamed a reasonably large number of hours today as well, so I think I'm perhaps just a bit parched. Opponent is scrying here. Bottom. So we're gonna deal with that one with a cryptic command. It's just a question of whether we're supposed to counter bounce or counter draw, discard whatever we draw. Probably supposed to counter bounce. Opponent, though, feels like this game is over, and I can understand why. I will see you in the next round in just a moment.